Hey, good morning, folks. Welcome to the Morning Coffee Commentary. I want to tell you one of my favorite stories this morning. Yesterday, I told you about a pocket knife and how important it is. When I was a little old boy, my daddy gave me my first pocket knife. It was a Barlow. Probably didn't cost no more than about 10 bucks, but it was my first pocket knife, and it was from my daddy. And I thought it was some kind of special. It had a fake bone handle in it, and it had a big old flat blade on it. But again, I thought it was special because it was my first pocket knife. Carried that thing everywhere I went, did everything I needed to do with it. Boy, we did everything. We fished and skinned squirrels and did everything with that pocket knife, and then I lost it one day. Man, I tore my house apart. I tore everything apart. I went everywhere. I backtracked myself for the last 2 weeks trying to figure out where that pocket knife went, and I couldn't find it. So finally, I just kind of gave up on it and decided that I was never going to find that pocket knife. One day, I was walking down a three-wheeler trail behind the house, and I saw something underneath an old beech tree over there, kind of glistening underneath the leaves, and I got down on my knees, and I dug the leaves back, and there was my old Barlow pocket knife. Been laying out there about a year. That knife was rusted too. You couldn't even open it up. Had to go home, spray WD-40 on it, and work it, try to get it open, and it was rusty. The bone handle on it had broken, and everything about it was not as new as it used to be, but it was so special to me because it was my first pocket knife, and it just meant so much to find that knife. Now, I'll be honest with you, that's probably been over 40 years ago, and I got that knife today. Here it is right here. Old Barlow. Man, that thing got a broke handle on it. The old blade is pitted up and broke off and nasty. Can't even hardly open the small blade to this day because it's so stiff from being rusted together. But the point is this: I kept that because it was special to me, because I had lost it, but then I found it. God's looking for you to come into his world, and it tells us in John chapter 10, I'd read the whole thing, but a couple verses in there very important. Jesus himself said, I and the Father are one. When I come and you accept me, the Father will hold you in the palm of his hand, and nothing can snatch you out. I mean, there ain't nothing gonna come get this knife from me, because it is so important. And God says it's even 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, even as many times as we can imagine, more important to him, that you come back to him no matter what your life looks at, how pitted up you are, what you've been doing, where you've been laying out in the woods, and how long you've been there. He can save you, he can put you back in his life, and he can actually hold you in the palm of his hand. The world sure could use a little good news today.